Hello and welcome to another edition of Night's News. I'm Tristan Ramsey.
And I'm Macy Granger. In today's episode,
Tuesdays want your positivities.
The Pit plays an important role in the musical.
Free resources are only a click away.
The latest whole night demonstrates true strength.
Lacrosse has high expectations.
And March Madness predictions are in the spotlight.
In our first story, Chris Landman finds out how some are trying to make Tuesdays more positive.
There's an old phrase, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Well, that idea was kind of just thrown out the window when we all started COVID. And it feels like COVID has really brought out the worst in all of us. And people have noticed. People like Mrs. Bergman.
So when we first went on COVID and went remote, I felt like there was just a lot of negativity in general. And so I just kept thinking, like, can we just be kind to one another? And so I put together a little Be Kind order form for teachers if they wanted to get some Be Kind shirts. And so a lot of teachers did that. And it was just kind of uplifting, right? And so then after coming back to school, after being home for an entire year, I just said, I'd really like to figure out a way that every week we can kind of recognize that being kind and being positive is one of the best ways to be in life.
With the idea of the Be Kind shirts and more people catching on, an opportunity began to arise.
And so I wanted something to happen where once a week we could have a day dedicated to what it means to be a positive role model, what it means to be a positive person, to be kind to one another, to be supportive of one another. So Miss Fiore and I kind of tossed around some ideas of like, what could we call it? And we decided to call it Positivity Tuesday, and the T is T-E-E, so like, wear a positive t-shirt.
More and more of the staff wanted to get involved, and Miss B had yet another great idea.
And so once I kind of threw it out there, then I started with a web store for the staff to see what the staff thought, which is what I'm wearing now, and the staff loved it. And a lot of teachers got into it and bought into it. But I really want kids to grab it and run with it, is what I really want. Because I think the more we can put out the message about how much easier it is to be positive about life, I think the more effective it will be.
We can't just have one group spreading positivity. If we've learned anything over the last year or two, it takes all of us.
Place like North is known for a lot of things, right? People here love being here. The kids are wonderful. They are so inclusive, and so I want this to be another thing that the kids are proud about.
Please, on behalf of Mrs. Bergman and the rest of the North staff, please wear anything that's kind, motivational, and most of all positive, so we can all share and enjoy Positivity Tuesday.
Thanks, Chris. The more positivity, the better.
Next, Max Krieger learns about the importance of the pit in this year's musical.
Behind every musical is a great band. It is no different for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown by Green Room Theater Company. Today, we will be talking to pit percussionist Nick Harshbarger about what it is like to be in the band and what do they do.
What is pit orchestra?
So pit orchestra is pretty much the band that plays for the musical in the background. We always sit in like the back corner. It's run by Dr. Nielsen, and it usually has about 6 people in it normally.
Nice. How do you prepare for your shows?
So we started working on the shows in December, which we pretty much just did weekly practices up until this month, March. Then about a week before the show, we started doing everyday rehearsals, tech rehearsals, dress rehearsals, everything. Pretty much just getting used to playing with the cast and with all the lines and everything, along with fighting.
So do you think you had enough time preparing with the cast and the play, or do you think you need more time?
It did seem a little frantic at some points, but honestly, I felt good about it, especially with my first performance. I felt confident about it, so I feel like that applied to everyone. I think we had a good amount of preparation. So.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So how do you guys play without a conductor or any formal cues?
So Dr. Nielsen does conduct some people, especially when it's just like one person playing at a time. But sometimes we have to listen for the lines, and then like eventually you just kind of get used to it. And right when you hear a line, you're like, oh yeah, we're going in it right away. Other times, the singers have like a pickup, so like they do like some notes into the song, and then we join in along with the tempo. If we need to, Dr. Nielsen would cue us in with just maybe a head nod or a point or something like that. But yeah, not too much conducting, stuff like that.
Well, that sounds awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Max.
It's always good to give a shout to musicians and the work they do.
For sure. Now, Charlotte Schaefer tells us that libraries can be the key to free online resources.
We're in an increasingly digital age, and although many people are aware of digital resources such as ebooks and audiobooks, there's often less consideration for the ways that public and private libraries utilize their online catalogs.
If you go to the library drop-down box from the school website, then what you have available is databases, and you have Overdrive and Access 360, which are electronic resources for you. So you can do ebooks, e-audiobooks, and otherwise you can check out some tangible audiobooks as well as books in the library. It's about 2 to 3 weeks for a checkout period of time for the electronic resources as well as the books, but usually you can renew them. We've got signs where they can QR code it with their phones. Otherwise, it's just a simple drop-down box that says library on the school website.
Along with school libraries such as Grayslake North's Hub, your local public library most likely also has a digital catalog where you can browse their physical book selection and check out ebooks and audiobooks. If you have a public library card, apps created by companies like Overdrive can be used to access even greater amounts of materials, all from a phone, tablet, or laptop.
Thanks, Charlotte. I'll be checking some of those out, literally.
Next, Tristan shows us that Emily Larrabee is a true whole knight.
Our whole night today will be senior Emily Larrabee as she talks about her experiences with lifting and what she hopes to accomplish.
My friend Abby, so she was an assistant coach for my cheer team when I was in 8th grade, and then she was a senior when I was a freshman. So she invited me into weight room after I had tried out for the varsity team and I didn't make it, and it like bummed me out a little bit. So I wanted to work harder to get there the next year. So she encouraged me to come in. Yeah. I started competing with weightlifting because my friend Abby did it. So it was kind of like Hanson and Abby were like, oh, you should join, it'll be fun. So I signed up for a local Chicago competition and had a ton of fun doing it. And so I kept looking for different ones to sign up for. I'm a very competitive person, so it's good to have outlets for that that are positive. And then the High Rocks competition, which is the one that you had mentioned, I kind of signed up for that one as another mental challenge. I didn't think I was going to win it, I didn't win it. I won my age group, but I didn't think I would do well in it. It was running. I'm not very good at running. I kind of signed up for it for fun to see how I would go. I wasn't even in the age group when I did it, but I was too young for it. But it was really fun. It was very exciting and very nerve-wracking. So it was in Detroit. It was my first time traveling for a competition out of state. So I kind of had to be flexible a little bit with it because it was like where we were staying, things like that. There was a lot more moving factors. We didn't know where the facility was. We drove 4 laps around the building to try to figure out where parking was, and it was around the time that I needed to start getting ready or getting situated and things like that. So it was really interesting, but I loved it. The stadium was really cool. The energy was awesome. I love it whenever I can be around girls that are lifting, and yeah, I love the experience. Winning nationals, which was very exciting. I did not expect that to happen. It was another one where I kind of signed up. I was like, oh, we'll show up, see what happens. I I kind of realized that I had a shot to win it, like after the snatch portion of the competition, and I don't know. Yeah. So I kind of got to the level I wanted to with Olympic lifting. So I'm going to be trying to make it to the CrossFit Games within the next 5-ish years. So that's kind of like a big competition. You like go and you compete against women from all around the world. So yeah.
We all hope that you reach your goal, Emily.
Going from one sport to another, Kelly Epple talks to a member of the lacrosse team about the spring season.
Hi Knights, I'm Kelly Epple and I'm here with Andreas Morales and he's on the lacrosse team. So you guys just had your first game against Cary Grove on Wednesday, and how'd it go?
It was a good win, nice team win. I think it was definitely a good game. Good place to start. Still some things to work on, but I think we'll be good. I like to see the guys get better every day. It definitely makes me happy, and I just want to keep that 1-0 mentality every day, so that's good.
So Andreas, what's your most anticipated game this season?
That's definitely a tough question to answer. We got a lot of good games lined up, but 100% for me and some of the other guys would be St. Viator. Last year when we played them, we were 10-0. We were pretty highly ranked. We went over there, we lost our streak. So definitely it's going to be a good one, and we play them towards the end of the season, so I think that one will be fun.
How do you want to leave your mark on Grayslake North lacrosse?
I think we got a good group of seniors. Just Wednesday, I think Travis broke cost turnovers record, so that's a pretty good start. So seniors, everybody's a leader. Hopefully we can make it pretty far this year. As long as we're all on the same page, I think we'll leave a pretty big impact, and definitely establish a good foundation for the younger guys to take over on. So yeah.
So Andreas, what's different from this season from previous seasons?
That's a really good question as well. One big thing, or two big things I should say, is coaching staff change. It hasn't been too big because we've been working with Coach Pat for a little bit. And another thing was that we're in school now. Practices being at different times. I know it's like a little bit tougher for the younger guys, but it's definitely been fun. And with the coaching change, I think everybody's been able to adjust pretty well, and seniors have been able to step up and be leaders. So that's pretty good.
Thanks, Andreas. Hope you have a good season.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thanks, Kelly, and good luck to lacrosse.
How are your brackets looking, Macy?
Pretty bad, like most everyone else.
Well, Max Krieger tries to help us feel better by giving us some March Madness predictions in the Spotlight.
Basketball's glory, victory. Today we are going to be asking people who they think will win March Madness.
Duke. He's got a guy off the bench on him right now, and Hall wants to challenge him, puts it up, ready, hits the shot.
Maybe Iowa.
In this game, look for them to really get better shots because they're one of the better offensive teams we have in the country.
Rabracha, fade away.
Definitely with Zags.
9 threes this season. Bolton for 3, it's good.
Purdue.
Hunter around the screen. That suffocating Texas defense. How does Purdue handle? 80 turn back.
It's more the other way for Nova. Saying a lot for a freshman to put on.
There you have it. These are your Knights picks for March Madness champion.
That brings another episode of Knights News to a close.
We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on social media.
I'm Macy Granger.
And I'm Tristan Ramsey.
Have a fun and safe spring break, North.
Free resources. Oh my gosh. Why did it sound like that? Free resources.
Resources.